I'm being joined by the national chairman of the Zenith Labour Party, who was also the former chairman of the Labour Party, Chief Dan Onwanyawo. He joins us live in our Abuja studio here. Thank you so much, Chief, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Shewan. Welcome back from your holiday. you're looking refreshed.
Thank you so much. Let's begin. First and foremost, it's clear what Section 156 of the Constitution said about appointments into these offices. People have raised issues. A lawyer is threatening to go to court. You are a lawyer, and you're an experienced political party administrator and a politician. What are your perspectives on this?
It's not just Section 156, 154, 155 gives the president the unlimited powers to make nominations. And in making such nominations, as in this case, the Constitution allows him to consult the Council of States. And I don't know why we always like to jump the gun.
What do you mean by that?
What I mean is, you see, the Constitution has given one man the powers to do an act. And he should do it in so manner. Do your consultations as allowed by the Constitution. Ensure that the president is not a member of a political party. Ensure that within the past 10 years, he has not been found guilty of gross misconduct in cause of, and so on and so forth. The next stage is to send it to the Senate. If you have anything against any of the appointees, take the facts to the Senate, as we did in the case of Loretta Onoche. I was one of those who spearheaded it, and I presented facts, even to the public, that this woman is not a fit and proper person to go into INEC. We showed evidence that she was a member of APC, which she denied, and more audio and video presentations were made, and the Senate saw reason and did not approve her. So what I detest as members of the opposition and as members of the civil society is to sit down and lump things on people, even persons that had done nothing, because we want to play opposition. We should play opposition responsibly.
This case of Loretta Onoche,
yes,
and this very one,
yes,
that's raising dust.
Yes.
Is he any different?
It's not in pari material. It's not the same.
Okay, why
it's
is
not
it
the same?
I
refer to you. Somebody spoke on television, I think on this channel,
yes,
about the lady.
We were at the forefront of this matter.
Yes,
because it's of public interest.
Yes. What facts do you have? You just come to national television.
You mean those we were talking about?
Of course, you just come to national television, disparage a woman, say all sorts of things. Like somebody like me, I know her. I know her. Very clean, responsible woman. Maybe somebody has told you this woman should not come.
So you're talking about okay, so let's look at some of the names so that we can get clarity. The fresh
state
nominations,
by state.
Yeah, state by state, we have them. Pauline Onyeka Ugochi from Imo.
Ugochi?
Ugochi from Imo State. Muhammad Lawa Bashir from Sokoto. Zango Abdul from Katsina. Queen Elizabeth Agu Ebonyi. Agundo Teso from Benue. Yomere Orisemelebi, Delta, and Professor Yaya Ibrahim from Kaduna. These are the new nominees. There are about 16 or so of them, 4 new ones. So if you look at it from Kano, Dr. Nura Ali from Kano, from Enugu, Agu Uchenna Sylvia, Ahmed Gereki from FCT, Hudu Yunusa from Bauchi, Professor Uzo Chukwu Chijoke, Anambra, and Mohammed Nura. These are some of the names. I know that the civil society organization raised issue on the nominee from Sokoto and Imo. And one of the allegation is that these people have partisan interests.
Well, I don't know anybody who doesn't have interest. Shemu, you have a political interest because you vote. Every Nigerian has political interest. But the Constitution talked about a card-carrying member of a political party. So you don't just wake up as there's nobody who doesn't vote. Bishops vote, imams vote. They have political interest. They vote for people they believe that will protect their interest. So but they come to disparage people that are not members of a political party because we are using our privilege as members of civil society or as opposition We must have our facts correctly. I gave you example of Loretta Onoche. I remember, I don't know whether it's this channel. It was almost all the channels. I was asked to prove it. I showed it. She was a member of a party. So she wasn't a fit and proper person to occupy such an office. So let us not start. They talked about Sokoto and Imo. And I'm telling you now that that woman is not a member of any political party.
So this is what Section 156 1A of the Constitution states. And it says, is not, so the Constitution was making reference to Section 153,
yes,
where it listed about 15 or 12 federal position, Code of Conduct Bureau, Council of State, Federal Character Commission, Federal Civil Service Commission, Federal Judicial Commission, INEC, National Defense Council, National Economic Council, National Judicial Council, National Population Commission, National Security Council, Nigeria Police Council, Police Service Commission, and Revenue Mobilization and Allocation and Fiscal Commission. These agencies of government, the Constitution was making reference to. And I just read a quote from what the Constitution says in 156 1A. It says, is not qualified, or I said, no person shall be qualified for appointment as a member of any of these bodies aforesaid if A is not qualified, or if he is disqualified for election as a member of the House of Representatives, yes, provided that a member of any of these bodies shall not be required to belong to a political party, yes, and in the case of the Independent National Electoral Commission, it shall not be a member of a political party.
Yes.
Now, the Constitution makes reference to being a member of a political, yes, party.
For you to be a member, you must be a card-carrying member of a party.
What
makes you a membership is the card. You can't be a member, you can be a voter. There's a difference between a voter and a member of a party. You can be a voter, but you're not a member of any political
party. But can you tell us that these people you're talking about are not
talking of the one I know, the one that has generated a lot of controversy, where somebody even queried who nominated this woman. It is the president. If you're a lawyer, you have the right to go to court. But you should also know that this Constitution, only one man can do that appointment after consulting the appropriate authority.
But don't Nigerians have the right to challenge a decision of the president?
Yeah, you can.
They think that it is morally incorrect.
No, you can't challenge it now. Let the Senate pass it. That's why we must put our facts together. Get to the Senate, because there'll be public hearing on them.
But the danger in what people have said is if it goes to the Senate and Senate passes such a person.
No, if you have those facts.
The implication on the election.
If you have those facts and the Senate does otherwise, then you can go to court to challenge it. But I don't know under the law where you are going to come in. This thing is strict. That's why people are calling for amendment to the Constitution. There are provisions that are strict, that you can do nothing about it. Because the Constitution, the check for the president is the Senate. So if it has passed that Senate, you have to go and lick your wounds. There is nothing you can do. But let me advise those of us in civil society and opposition. We must be responsible in doing it. We have a right to complain. We have a right to go to court. But we must not come to public television to just destroy somebody as if you are a paid hireling. You don't do that. And people like us, we say, no. We have a record. Since 1999, we have been on this opposition without recourse. So you cannot just take somebody, open your loud mouth, and just destroy a woman.
No, because you're a lawyer, and I like to put this to you, there is a popular and general principles that are being quoted that justice should not only be seen to be not only be done, but must be seen to be done. So now, in this sense, some of these people, and they say he who comes with equity must come with clean hands. So now the question that a lot of these guys are asking is that not only that you want to say that this person is not a card-carrying member, this person should not be seen as partisan people. How can a partisan person be seen to be conducting an election and being an arbiter between political parties when already it is a public knowledge that some of these people have political and partisan interest?
That justice that must be seen to have been done is justice of providing the facts to the Senate. The Senate wasn't, before, people said they must pass her, they must pass her. When Senate was confronted with facts about Loretta Onoche, Senate backed out. Don't think there are stupid people there.
Should people be made to go through the rigor and stress of having to shout and threaten the system?
That's why I said,
the right
that's why I said we are jumping the gun. Allow the process to take its course.
So
the only place we have to fight now is if you go to court now, court will say, I bet they have not been approved. Go to the Senate. So let us follow the process. We don't just want to be heard. We want to be heard. We want to be seen to have made noise. No. Let us go to the Senate with the facts as we did for Loreto Noche. The Senate will see those facts because there will be a problem after seeing those facts, which will be for the public, which will be in the public glare, and still go ahead to approve her. So don't destroy her before she gets there, because you have no facts. There is a difference, as I've told you, between a voter and the member of a political party, or somebody who is politically inclined to a party. There are two different things.
Because the grounds...
Because, you see, we are members of political parties. We don't make 10% or 5% of the voters. Put all the membership of the political parties together. Forget about these 20 million, 10 million we register. They don't exist. Put all of them together. They don't make 2% of the voters. And voters, people will go to vote on their conscience. And they are not interested in belonging to a political party. So let us not mix that. We cannot, because of that, say we crucify somebody before it gets to be heard, before the floor of the Senate.
I mean, the basis of this conversation is on the basis of law.
Yes. Law and facts.
Law and the fact. And the fact that part of the principles and the concept of natural justice is the fact that if you are going to be an arbiter in any matter, you should not. Yes, so the question is that why should Nigerians be made to go through the kind of rigor some of the civil society organizations went through and individuals went through and the media was put through to fight what they think was not right? Why should they go through another round? This is the second time that this is happening. Why should the media, the civil society, and individuals be made to go through this same cycle?
That's why we are talking about constitutional amendment. Only one man has been given the powers. I'm a lawyer. I don't leave the law and talk as if I'm talking from the carpenter's workshop. I'm talking law. Only one appointer, President Muhammad Buhari. It may be wrong. We have advocated for Nigerians to make nominations through other processes to appoint people going into INEC. We have been shouting on that for 5 years. This constitution has not been amended. The amendment is not only on restructuring, which have scared people away. There are other areas that the constitution needs to be amended. This is one of the areas. Allow Nigerians to appoint. If you ask me, somebody like Mike Igini should not leave INEC. Mike Igini should not leave INEC. He's the finest among the resident electoral commissioners, but he's out. So allow Nigerians to make these nominations. They will be talking, yes. We have done it. No Nigerian will do that. The president will act based on limited information he has. So if he has made that error in nominating somebody without reference to the issue is in question, then you go to the Senate. If you think that the Senate has erred in their conclusions, you can go to court. But I don't know where you raise it.
So the summation of some persons will say, look, there are plans by the ruling party to embed their own persons into INEC.
We will not let them do that, Shehu. INEC we have now. You see, when I talk, they say you do defend INEC. It's because all of us have been involved. If Professor Mahmoud takes a step outside the agreement, we'll be the first to shout. There is something we have done in INEC that is very difficult. And when I'm talking, I'm not talking from the cattle field. I'm talking because we know all the things that are being put online. Bring anybody. Is he going to do it in the States? All of us will be there. Where would he do it? Is he going to be sole agent? It's not possible. Beavers has given solutions to all these problems. And that's why you now see voters' cards being thrown out, put in the dustbin, thrown everywhere. It's because the politicians that mopped up all these cards due to the incident form we used when we were using card reader to vote, they have come to realize that the incident form will no longer be there. At that time, it was possible for you to give anybody a card. He gets to card reader, it didn't get him. They give him incident form, he'll go and vote. Those situations will not arise anymore. So let us not start. We know what we have put in INEC on this regular consultation we'll be having with INEC. Any day INEC derails, the same mouth we have used to call pass is the same mouth we are going to use to call fail.
Before I take you into, because whenever we get someone like you in the studio, we try to milk as much as we can from you, from your wide-ranging experience. Before I get off that matter, there are those who will argue that Loretta Onoche, in fact, was not disqualified based on this issue that you raised. But
don't waste your time.
Just a moment. But because there was a clash from the states in which, for example, Mrs. Mary Abamuche Umbo, who was said to have represented Delta State on the same board that she was supposed to be appointed to.
Are you saying that they didn't know that Abamuche was there before she was nominated? Take it that Senate did not approve her. They can give any reason. We succeeded. You know, you see, there's this thing like pride. I don't want to be seen to have lost. That was what happened. Didn't President Buhari and those around him not aware that there's somebody from Delta there? They knew. They wanted us as a second person. So, but the point is that the civil society and the opposition succeeded in that exercise. She will take it. I've been talking about INEC. The white man produced a pencil. At the top of the pencil, he put an eraser. In case you made a mistake, you turn the pencil and clean it off. We are in for this election to have free, fair, and credible election. That's why I'm happy with what the president said yesterday when he met the governors, yesterday or 2 days ago, that I'm not ready for any rigging. So he has given the signal, both to INEC and to all of us. Everybody should respect himself. Go there, cast your vote, and remain quiet.
All right. So that takes me to my next question.
Yes.
And the question, as a leader of a political party, whatever structure is on the ground right now, are you confident about that structure, that it will give us a credible election in 2023?
Which structure are you talking about?
From INEC. INEC is the only one that has a structure and the system to conduct election in this country.
I can tell you, yes, based on what we have on ground. I'm not God to see tomorrow. I can tell you, yes. INEC under Mahmoud, with the political parties, and even with the civil society, at every stage, up to where we are today, I am comfortable. I am comfortable. And that's why I have told you about the mouth you used to call pass, the same mouth you used to call fair. I've also talked about the pencil and the eraser. As at what we have now, Mahmoud Yakubu and his commissioners will deliver good results. Forget about what's happening in the states. We are going to discuss that in the next meeting coming up soon. He has to rejig the states. Most of them are so much entangled with the governors. Most of them are so involved in a lot of things, and we have evidence to show some.
There's even a system in INEC now that after spending, as a senior officer, after spending some years, you have to leave. You cannot even serve in the state in which you were born or the state of your region. These are some of the systems that INEC just brought out and took a lot of the administrative...
But do you know what came out? That INEC has started planning how to rig the election.
Do you think that's the case?
No, that's what is in the media. I laugh. For example, somebody was removed. He has been on that seat for 11 years. Good guy. Intelligent guy. It was the child of his brain that we even got Beavers, the director of ICT. But he has been there for 11 years. So he has to be moved.
Is that an administrative
issue?
Secretary in one of the states?
I don't allow these things to bother me. I don't allow it to bother me. That was why after 10 years in a party, I said, look, it's enough. Somebody should come and take over. I step aside. It's not their father's.
So you're confident that the president has made a promise that there will be credible election. He will not rig. He will not help anybody to rig election.
If President Buhari wants to leave a legacy, having not done well in all his mantras that brought him into office, he should give us credible, free, fair, transparent election, so that we will hold that one as he's going to be part of his testimonial. I have always talked about the testimonial that will be given to the president. If everything has failed, security has failed, the economy has been bastardized, everything failed, give us good process. We say it was President Muhammad Buhari that gave us this.
Now, you headed the Labour Party, and I'm very sure that you're following, I mean, the fact that you are a Zenith Labour Party national chairman doesn't preclude you from being able to speak to some of the issues. There is a rave in town about the candidate of the Labour Party, the presidential candidate, Peter Obi, and what is happening in the Labour Party, the structure, and how the structure of Mr. Peter Obi is going to organize itself within the existing structure that he met on the ground. Are you surprised? Because that is one of the structures that you left on the ground in Labour Party. What exactly do you think is going on?
Well, so I don't want to talk about my brother presidential candidate, Peter Obi. Because the thing where they're hungry, I'm the hungry me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I don't want to talk about it. We are not yet campaigning. But on the issue you asked me, yes, I was in the Labour Party. And I've tried as much as possible to avoid, I have left the place since 2014. Having produced governors, House of Reps, Senate, and all those things. I left, became the chairman board of trustees before I finally left. You see, I know what you're referring to is what is in the media now as to campaign council, party structure, and all that. Let me make this clear. Once a candidate has emerged in a political party without reference to Labour Party, it behoves on the candidate to elect to have his own campaign council.
It's a prerogative of
standing alone.
The candidate has the right.
Yes, the campaign council belongs to the candidate contesting election. Or he may want to merge it with the structure of the party.
But it has to be in consultation with the party.
Of course, with the consultation of the party. But most times, they want to have a campaign council separately from the structure of the party. The party will do nothing about it. But what the man contesting the election will do is to draw his programs, consult with the leadership of the party, in this case, National Working Committee, as per his programs, pass it to them, as per when they are going on campaigns, fund them, but run your campaign council. The campaign council belongs to the candidate. It doesn't belong to the party. So when you start fighting, you start reading things, say, well, okay, this may be due to lack of experience or trying to be mischievous. It's the man that is contesting elections. The campaign council is for the candidate, not for you as a party. I have produced candidates that contested. Mimiko was a governor. I produced all of them. All of them. They had their campaign council. We didn't quarrel about it. All they did was, chairman, this is that. Okay. When are you going on this, that? We go. We speak. We do what we're supposed to do.
Does the party, would the council need the approval of the party for a campaign council?
No, what they would do.
Or does the candidate need the approval of the party?
No. In fact, if the party doesn't make an input, the party should not break its head. But the party can suggest to the candidate running for election, the campaign council belongs to the candidate. It's not to the party. The party will have its own structure, moving along with the council.
Isn't it standing logic on its head?
No.
Because you're under, the candidate has the powers of the authority from the party, is the flag bearer of the party.
Yes.
He's on the platform of the party.
Yes.
Everything he does, he's doing it in trust from his own political party.
You see, once an aspirant has emerged as a candidate, his position now has statutory flavor. Before he was an aspirant. Now he has become a candidate. That aspirant's name has statutory flavor guiding it. The party cannot just remove it because it has closed. It is the candidate that is running for election. In fact, it has never worked when you merge the campaign council with the party structure, especially when we have new people. They want to take over everything. And that is what the candidate should not allow to happen. The party must always be accommodated at all times. It must be given its dues. If there is a program, the program must get to them. It must be funded. Where you have smaller parties that don't have the funds like PDP and APC. so that's how it is.
Let's close the conversation. And this is my final question to you, Chief Nwanyawu. And my question is, do you think that the election of 2023 will be a total departure from what we have seen in the past? And perhaps, if you look at a crystal ball, from the yearnings of Nigerians today, what do you think 2023 portends? Would it be a totally strange, a miracle out of the bag from what we have ever seen in Nigeria's history?
Before I get to that point, what you are seeing today is an expression of bitterness from the people of Nigeria. Leaders must listen, especially when the people they are ruling are not happy. So they're just expressing it. On the other hand, what you are seeing today is a continuation of an anger which they tried to show during the NSAS, and they were cut short. So let nobody take credit. People are very angry. People are bitter. And we have said this thing, we have been on this thing, particularly myself in the past 8-10 years. And that was why in the National Conference of 2014, I told the 402 members, we have opportunity to rebuild this country. We must not wait any further. If we wait, our children will not be as patient as we are. It has come to the point that children are now confronting their parents. Daddy, you are 79, you are 80. I'm 27, 28. Daddy, you have been telling me this since I was born, and it has not yielded result. Daddy, allow us to do it all over the country.
So it's a year of the youth.
So not only youth. If you check the majority of those that are raised are over 80% now, before it was 71%, it's almost 80%. So they're going to show it. The anger is there. They have been cheated. They have been oppressed. They have been defrauded of what belongs to them. So there is no way the people of Nigeria will not react. Let nobody deceive himself.
All right. Thank you so much, Chief Dan Onwanya, the National Chairman of the Zenith Labour Party. Thank you so much indeed for your time.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.